Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
How we feeling?
Fantastic, terrific, great.
Ha. Yeah, I like the team, guys. We're here. This is good energy. I don't think anyone's here to lose, so we just got to lock in and win. What I want to talk about just briefly today, we're definitely going to do the gauntlet today. We're going to do some checks for Josh. We're going to do the video of him in his new car because that's freaking sweet. Let's give it up for Josh for a minute. Yeah, he is a hard worker. But what I'm going to talk about today is just this really simple thing. What you'll find is everything you want, there's a simple process to get it. And what happens is we do things that aren't lending to our goal, right? So all of us, I think, have been in shape. We've got a pretty, we've all played sports. Yeah. And when you were the best in shape, and of course, Sean can make the best statement about this. But it was pretty simple. There's just a formula for that. Right, and it takes patience. It takes time. How long do you think it took for you to get as buff as you are today? Like, if I want to look like you,
without steroids, I mean, I take a little TRT here and there, but if you just pack on the food and juice a bunch, yeah, you're gonna have stretch marks and nasty skin.
So if I do TRT, it'd probably take me
13
8 years, 10 years.
Yeah.
Well, I've got like a decent base. Come on, it's not like I haven't been working out. Yeah, but 12 years of just consistent things. And what do? Let's make this our buff category. What are the main, if you're gonna help someone that's skinny or fat, what are the top 3 things they should focus on?
Diet.
So number 1?
Diet.
Number 1's diet.
Yeah,
how much of the picture do you think diet is?
70%.
Okay. So you got 30% to work with. Where does the rest go?
Workout.
Okay.
That's it. I mean, if we could break it down even more of a pie, but
what about
diet is,
what about drugs?
How about sleep? Yeah, sleep recovery.
Probably hormones would be 10% there. Yeah. If you have low test and high estrogen, it's hard to put on muscle.
You're gonna,
So maybe vitamins and stuff.
Yeah.
Is it consistent working out too, Sean?
Oh yeah, 5 days a week.
Okay.
Yeah, so you could take that diet off and put let's say 50.
Okay.
Yeah, because diet, the food is the most important thing. You can go to the gym all day long and not eat right, and you're not going to get anywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're at 70, 80. We have 10%.
Recovery, sleep.
Okay.
So that's probably the majority of the rest. You have to have recovery. Without sleep, your muscles not going to grow. Yeah. Protein synthesis will not occur.
So maybe protein we should put on there. Oh, diet's part of diet.
Yeah, it's part of diet. Yeah.
What do you think? Was there one more? Diet, gym, hormones, recovery.
Yeah, sleep, recovery, cardio.
Negative cardio.
Well, that's part of the gym.
Yeah.
Maybe consistency. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta be consistent and.
You gotta go. He said 5 days a week.
Consistent.
Yeah, so consistency. Yeah.
But that goes to part of the gym too.
What if you were what if you got your diet, your gym, and your hormones locked in, but you only have them locked in 3 days a week?
You're not going to progress.
Just not going to work.
It's not going to progress, no.
So it has to be 5 days, right?
Yeah. Well, I think it has to be 7 days because you could ruin a whole good week with one bad Saturday.
Well, it just really depends on what kind of
a cheat meal.
Shit for 3 weeks, and it won't really affect my body because my body's like a machine right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so somebody yourself, you couldn't do that same thing.
I get messed up if I eat bad for 2 days.
Blow up like a balloon.
Yeah, I do.
Because
you
of
got
metabolism. So everything, my body's in such a pattern, in such a routine, it's so consistent, and I could eat probably shit for 3 weeks and not really gain too much weight.
And still go to the gym, right?
And still go to the gym, and even if I didn't go to the gym.
So let's do the same thing, but let's make it solar rich. Okay. Yeah. What's the number 1 thing?
No. Exposure. Hours work.
Hours work, not
exposure.
Yeah, I would agree. It's I would say prospecting.
Yeah.
It's time prospecting. Yeah, this is how you fill any if you go into real estate or you go into pest control or you go to whatever you're going to sell, you're going to have your sale up here. This bottom, your whole base is going to be built by prospecting. So I agree. That's the number 1 thing. What do you think number 2 is?
Time management.
Well, if you have good time management, you would do good prospecting.
Okay.
So with good time management, what's the second thing you got to do, Spin? Mindset?
Perfecting your pitch.
Yeah,
Staying consistent, knocking doors, having a routine.
This is all good points. This is all good points.
Knowing your stuff.
Yeah, I mean, in mindset might come first, like you said. Like identity comes first. But let's like write these down and then we'll partition them. So you have mindset. You had something else you guys said it was good.
Repetition.
Consistency.
Muscle memory.
Repetition is the mother of skill.
Well, you get repetition if you're prospecting.
Yeah.
You gotta have vision, which is I guess is mindset.
That's part of mindset.
Okay.
I would say sales skills.
Yeah.
You got to have your sales skills dialed in so your prospecting
your
time is valuable. Yeah.
Yeah, parents play a huge role.
Yeah, I mean, if you look like shit, people don't want to talk to you.
At all.
And that will lend a lot to your mindset because mindset's going to be part of your confidence.
And that's a big one. They go hand in hand.
It's kind of like this in the same way. Like none of this matters if your diet isn't focused in.
Without prospecting.
Like none of your mindset and your sales skills and your appearance don't matter at all if you're not prospecting.
Yeah.
It's like that's your meat and potatoes. That's like the fact that you're actually working. And then once you're in the once you are prospecting, then you got to have the right sales skills. That's probably like gym. Then all this other stuff, mindset, appearance, is going to kind of build in and make that in. I guess the point I'm trying to get into is that it's not that hard. What the best way to do this for anyone that's actually done this long term, it's exhausting. We get something called decision fatigue. Who knows what decision fatigue is? Isaac?
It's like Mark Zuckerberg. All his shirts are the same color. So there's actually it's called the glucose in the brain. It's the energy source that it's associated with decision fatigue. The more you have to make decisions at the end of the day, it's the more likely you're gonna have to just give up. Your brain literally gives up. It's like they did studies with sugar or cookies, and some of the people that were there, the test subjects, they had baked cookies. They go over there and then they didn't allow them to eat them, but they were smelling them. So they're starting already to get fatigued because they have to control themselves to not eat it.
Yeah.
But the other one, they gave them the cookies. Whenever after that, they gave them complex mathematical problems, and the people that were not given the cookies were giving up like 75% faster, consistently. Thousands of trials about this.
Yeah, just being around cookies caused fatigue. What cookies are we putting ourselves around that are causing fatigue? Girls in housing?
Yeah, I was gonna say cookie.
Cookie coochie?
Yeah.
Yeah, just scrolling through Tinder is gonna suck your energy.
Yeah.
It's gonna suck your soul. Just looking at porn is gonna suck your energy and suck your soul. Just being around guys that are smoking all the time and drinking all the time, it just sucks your energy. What else? Video games can be like that if you take it too far. We got a really nice balance.
Anybody, you can put your metrics. It doesn't even matter.
Social media right now, I think I'd agree. Like your phone time and how you do that, if you're just letting these things happen to you. So as a man, a lot of our success comes from what we remove, right? If you can remove the girls, remove the Tinder, remove the drugs, and like you go to bed because you're bored. So like remove like the Netflix. Looking at you, John Tay. If you ever watch this, if you're watching movies all day long, it's like, where do you think your energy's all going? Why are you always tired? It's because you don't have anything left. You need to drop everything. And when you really, really want something, when you really, really want it, that's all you do. That's how you focus all your energy in. Because you do an energy audit, and you can actually look at your week, and you'll spend 50 hours scrolling and 10 hours actually prospecting. And even when you are prospecting, you're doing stuff on your phone, you're on Snapchat, you're on Tinder, you're not really focused. So all these things, they only matter if you're dialed in. Going to the gym only matters if you're freaking pushing yourself. You can't just go to the gym.
It's kind of like you have a baseline of specific chemicals like serotonin and dopamine. Whenever you do anything that spikes, like your phone is a walking gambling machine. Whenever you play on it, it spikes your dopamine to about 200%. Whenever you stop doing it, now your baseline is lower, so you get like a little bit of depression. And when you hit a door, is much more harder because now you're playing with less dopamine to be able to do this. Like your brain used what it was supposed to use. It's like instead of doing the hard thing, it did the easy thing to get away from the hard thing, and now it starts to rely a lot on the easy thing instead of the hard thing.
Yeah.
It's a feedback loop.
It is a feedback loop. And we can get into this, and I think we can go out in as deep as we want. What we're doing with Bright House this year is we're taking the decision fatigue out of your hands, we're putting it into my hands, and we're just trusting the program. We're just being mentored, right? We saw Castle this morning, and the gym dude was like, Castle, what are you doing today? He's like, I don't know, whatever Todd tells me. You know, he just gets to come to the gym, and Todd's pretty buff, and Todd tells him what to do, and it's just like a blessing. So we have this dialed in. We have a program. We have a schedule. You just have to do it. If you do it, you will make the money that you want to make. One thing that I want to be clear about is the timeline to make that. You know, it's going to take, if you aren't in this market setting, 4 deals that close in a month, then you're probably not going to be self-genning 4 deals that close for a few months. It's going to take some time. And another thing that is really important to me is people put themselves within reasonable expectations. Because solar is a big scammy Ponzi scheme, and all these new Sun reps that just got fired from Sunrun, the reason that they make so much money is because they undersize their batteries, they overprice their systems, their homeowners don't have savings. And the reason they feel like they have to do that is because they're poor and they have a scarcity mindset. At any point that they're in-house and they have the opportunity to make 20 grand or be honest, they'll tell you to your face, their integrity isn't worth 20 grand. They're scared, they're broke, they got to take care of their grandma.
But Castle will deny that to the fullest.
I was talking about New Sun.
Oh, but you mentioned Castle.
Sunrun's not as bad as New Sun. Like Castle said today, I met with him. Sunrun, if they find out you're scamming people, they'll fire you.
Okay.
Yeah, they're definitely getting more strict because they have bad accounts. Anyways, point being is the program here is just going to be reasonable, steady growth. This is what it looks like. And if you're not okay with this, then go somewhere else. If you're okay with this, then let's freaking buy in like a football team and let's go on it. We're going to take whatever money was the max that you've made in your life. If you made 100K, we're going to plug into this system I'm going to give you. And whatever we did, we're going to double it. If you aren't okay doubling whatever money you've ever made in your life, then this program is going to end up being very abrasive to you. You're going to be like, man, my friends are all making $100,000 a month. And you're going to be like, you're going to have FOMO. You're not going to really like being here. You're going to have a hard time being here. Which is so weird. Because if you're 28 years old and you've never made, let's say the most you've ever made is 100 grand, and I show you how you're going to make 200 grand in 2025, 2026, let's just pause. You've gone 25 years. That's the most you've ever made. Why is making double that scary to you or not enough to you? What's actually going on? Let's pause and take a stop. What's probably going on is bullshit, is lies. Like you're feeding yourself lies that you're worth more than you are, or like you already earned $200,000 in your mind. Like we live in reality. Let's come down to reality. Whatever you made your last year, I will double it. Eric wasn't happy with that, so he left. And that's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to get that really, really quick. You didn't even meet him. He was only here for 3 days.
Asian guy, remember him?
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
He was just here.
Dude.
For 3 days.
The most he's ever made is 50. And I said, bro, if you lock in, like you can definitely make 150 this year. How would you feel about that?
Huh? How many days did he knock with you?
2 days.
And he set the appointment too.
He was out 3 days.
He's pretty good. But he didn't like my story. My story is like, bring me whatever you've done before and I'll double it. I think that's a good master. That's how God has treated me. Every year, he's doubled my bounty, and I've been thankful for that. What he wants, though, is for Satan to tell him, come with me and I'll 10x. Whatever you made, I'll get you 500 grand.
Yeah, he wants to scam.
So that's what Shelly and Riley told him. Why did they say that? Because they're sleeping with hookers. I'm just kidding. They can't think straight. So point being is we're just gonna double our money. You made 100 grand. In 2027, you're gonna make 200. And if you can just be patient and understand that this is how life works, good things take time. 2028, you're gonna make 400. In 2029, I'm doing this till 2032 for sure. So 2029, 400, 800. I'm dead serious. Like you can make 1.6, but like
Do it.
you have to understand that good things take time and you have to plug into the program. So specifically what the program looks like right now for you guys, and you don't have to overthink this, but just simple things that you have to get done. So we come to the meeting at 1 p.m. We talk until 2. You can go grab lunch. You can take an hour to get to Hood. You need to be knocking from 3 p.m. to dark, okay? You need to be knocking. So you cannot be following up. You cannot be driving around. Like this is like new, fresh prospecting. If you find that you just can't follow up with your customers, you can't keep a good enough rhythm for it, that's what this part of the day is for. Like you have, like this is how I did. I went out from 9 a.m. to noon. A lot of these people, I try to set those appointments in the morning, the next day or next Saturday. You have to keep this sacred. This is your prospecting. This is your diet. If you don't keep the bottom of your business full with new prospecting, you will fail. And this is the most common thing, especially with what we're trying to do with progressing into self-generation. It's really easy to be like, I got to follow up with this person. I got to follow up with that person. Or it's 4 o'clock. I'm going to go drive to that guy's house. Hopefully he's there. You just got to stay focused and make sure that from 3 to 8 right now, that's 5 hours, 6 days a week, 5 days a week. So for 25 hours, you're actually knocking doors. And I need everyone to use the app, okay? We have to be able to track how many doors you're talking to, how many hours you're actually getting, how much prospecting is happening. Because what's going to happen is over time, you're going to see like Josh is just hitting more doors than you. And you're going to be frustrated, like, why isn't it working? If you don't keep track, right? You've probably tracked your macros.
Yeah.
If you don't, how many people think they're in a deficit, but they're just not?
90%.
Because they're not tracking their
Or
macros.
they're not eating enough, or they're eating too much.
They just don't even know because they're not tracking.
They don't even weigh it.
So give me a good reason why you wouldn't use the door knocking app and you wouldn't track your numbers.
Yeah. It's a good analogy.
No one has any good reasons? So do it. Isaac?
What you can measure, you can't hit. It doesn't exist.
Right. So part of our like key beliefs as we develop this, we're going to have like actions and beliefs that you have to have in order to make this system work. One of our key beliefs is what you just said, is like track everything. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to expose the lies. The reason that people are poor is because they have false beliefs, they have lies they've told themselves, and they haven't evaluated it. They blame everyone else for everything in their life. They're a victim about everything. It's always someone else's fault. It doesn't have anything to do with the fact that if they just watched their reality, they would see for example, fat people. They would see they never hit their diet. They never go to the gym. They don't sleep good. They're like on Tinder till 2 a.m. and they're not consistent about anything. So like, of course they're fat. So it's going to be the exact same thing. These people, they aren't prospecting. They have a weak mindset where they're constantly complaining about how everything's better somewhere else or something's easier somewhere else. They never work on their sales skills and they look like shit. Okay, I don't want to say any names, but Ari, okay, respectfully. She didn't dress up. She didn't look like she was professional. She thought she already knew everything. She never developed her sales skills. She was never prospecting. She'd rather be drinking. And she had a terrible mindset. She was always complaining. Does anyone want to disagree? Is she a bad person? No. Like, I love her like a sister. I think she's awesome. Like, I hope and I pray for her. I think she'll come around. Everyone comes around. But she simply does not have the ingredients. And she thinks she does. So what's she going to look like? She's going to look for what Eric's looking for, where someone tells her she's going to make $20,000 a deal for scamming little farm people on the outskirts of town. Okay, so first we have to track everything. It's just like a belief. We believe in tracking things. If someone isn't tracking things, that should be a red flag to you. If you're not tracking things, that should be a red flag to you. That's because you're hiding something. You're hiding the fact that you don't have the balls to knock 25 hours a week. If you don't have the balls to knock 25 hours a week, just quit now. Don't be a part of our organization. We're cool.
That's only 5 hours a day, right?
Yeah, that's like literally like bottom.
I mean, that's
I've always done 55 hours a week on the doors. Always.
That's bare minimum.
Yeah, I mean, this it really is. If you aren't doing this, you're not tracking your numbers, something's going wrong. Another thing I think is a non-negotiable is you need to exercise. Okay, if you aren't taking care of your body, you're not going to be able to take care of your mind. You're not going to have the right spirit. You're not going to have the right confidence. All that kind of lends into this mindset. If you're knocking without a good mindset, you're going to lose. Right? You could knock all day long if you don't have confidence in yourself because you've been, watching too much porn. I'll put porn on here.
Tinder and girls go hand in hand. Unless you're looking for dudes.
There might be like a safe version of girls, like women at church. Then you can talk to them.
That's what Bumble's for, I suppose.
I don't think so. Exercise. You got to eat healthy. So if I come to your room and there's always a bottle of vodka on the side of the desk, like it was already written on the wall. I should have already known. They're always like chips and stuff. Like you get half your food at gas stations. Like you hate yourself. Like you're gonna die, and you're definitely not gonna get money. So we exercise. We hold each other accountable. We want our guys to exercise with us. We eat healthy. We prioritize sleep. Right? Like it is just a sign of weakness when people aren't sleeping before midnight. Like if we're going to work tomorrow and you're hanging out until 3 a.m., like that should be like red flag. Text me, hey Tom, I know you just recruited this guy. He hangs out every night hitting the vape and scrolling on Tinder until 3 a.m. It's not going to be a good fit. Let's just find the bros that are dialed in and want to make money.
I would say with the sleep, I'll just go a little bit with that. Like yesterday, I was having trouble around 10, so I went for a 6-mile run, and then I couldn't sleep afterwards either. So it's okay, cool. But exercise is pretty interesting because the root word for emotion is motion. Motion creates emotion. There's not emotion creates motion. So you have to do stuff in order to feel it afterwards.
I love that, man. That really is fire. You gotta listen closely when Isaac talks. But motion is a big part of this. You're either gonna have forward motion or backward motion. Like it's like swimming. Life is like swimming upstream on a river. If you pause, you're going downstream. So I've been there. I've had depression. I've had anxiety. It can't hit a moving target. So you got to reach out. Don't reach in. That's the same thing with addiction. And this is one of the things. One of the reasons I want to talk about this, guys. Like I'm not better than you. I've struggled with all these things, all of them. Yeah. Yeah.
You ain't struggle with no girls, man. I can't, man.
What are you talking about? You don't think my wife's pretty? You don't think my wife's pretty?
Damn.
She's just the tip of the iceberg, dude. All the girls wanted this. It was a big struggle for me. I didn't have sex until I got married.
That's awesome.
Not for lack of trying on the woman part.
I didn't know that was possible, to be honest. You're the first person I ever met in my life.
I get you, bro. I'm joking with you too. But my point is like, don't feel ashamed. That's one of the tools that the enemy uses. He's gonna try to make you feel all ashamed and try to bring your ego into this. Yeah. Like we're not ego guys. Like we're just here to make each other better. Like if you call your buddy out for doing one of these things, it's because you love him. It doesn't have anything to do with your ego. And that's one reason I want to air it out and talk about it openly, so you guys aren't feeling ashamed. Like you can reach out to someone and say, hey man, I'm struggling with porn. I go to a porn addiction class today. I haven't looked at porn for a month, but I still go. I go Monday evenings. Yeah.
It's like a group.
How do you enroll into that?
I can help you, bro. Ask you for a friend. I could help you out. But yeah, I mean, I've had a problem with porn for 15 years.
That's just boring to me.
So is it like an actual
Not all of us can bang chicks, John.
Is it like therapy when you can sign up for it? Or?
It's like $200 a month. You go to this little group. I bet you that we could get Bright House to cover half of it if you want to do that. Just like we cover half of your therapy, and we'll prepay for it, and we'll take the other half out of your pay. So we'll help you get taken care of. And don't feel the biggest tool that the enemy uses here is shame. He's gonna make you like, what's not that embarrassing, bro? Like they literally hijacked Instagram and YouTube. It's just like a porn funnel. Like we're literally in the porn funnel. Like don't worry about it. I got you, bro. Just text me. I'll take care of you. But whether it's that or like I'm working on all this stuff, I have ways out of it. It wasn't easy. One thing I'm really good at teaching. It takes me a long time to learn something, but like once I have it, I can help anyone learn it because like that's how dumb I had to be to figure it out. Like math, right? Like you're ever in math class and they explain something and you just don't understand what they're talking about?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, explain it to me really slowly. By the time I understand the math, I can teach anyone. You know what I'm saying? By the time I've got porn figured out, like I can teach anyone. So don't be ashamed. Like this is honestly like we can work on this together. We're in on this together, and our goal is to double whatever we did last year. And we don't even care. Like it don't even matter about the money. All we want to do is get twice as good. We want to get twice as abundant. We understand that things take time, and that's what we want. And that's what Bright House is. It's a commitment to ideals over money, right? So when we have the opportunity to just lie to a granny or lie to anyone, and hey, like just give them half the battery, right? Because the full battery costs an extra 10 grand. So you could just give them half the battery, and then you could keep the 10 grand. So is your integrity worth more than 20 grand? And that's what the movement of Bright House is it's like this investment to believe that energy actually comes before money. We're not going to chase money. We're going to chase ideals, and we're going to chase values, and we're going to divorce the outcome and marry the process. So I'm giving you guys the process. This is what it is. If you do this and spend, I think 1 hour of exercise, eating healthy. You might have to take your P day seriously. You might have to do some meal prep, right?
That's what I'm gonna say. If you guys need a meal prep, I'm cooking for Tom. You guys could pay me.
How much
to
you
cook
charge?
meals. $15 to $20 a meal. But it's
How
gonna
much
be
you do
really
for-
good.
It's like 150 for a week,
Yeah,
5
how much
meals.
for a week?
About 125, 150 bucks, depending on what kind of meat you want.
It's the investment though.
But that's the thing. I mean, if you start in the exercise part, I can write you guys meal plans. I can give you guys workout routines. You know what I mean? Like what you're doing. Obviously, you're pretty fit, but I think these other people that come in, we can pretty much tag team them and let them know, hey, these are the requirements. The requirement first is exercise. You have to start eating healthy, so your mind is going to be able to absorb the solar language. Without that process, that right fuel, the shit's going to go in one ear and out the fucking other.
True.
I'm just preaching at a wall.
Yeah.
I've done it before.
So I think that's the first thing we need to do is start exercising.
So for sure, 1 hour. I'm hitting 3 days of lifting, and I'm running the other days. Another hour of stuff that needs to happen. This is going to be hard for a lot of you guys. This is literally the difference between $1 million man and a $100,000 man. $1 million man has learned how to study. So you have to find a way to build an hour of study into your day. This doesn't have to be 100% solar. Like for me, it probably looks like 20 minutes of religion study, 20 minutes of like self-help mindset study, and then maybe 20 minutes of solar study. But if you guys can commit to getting better every day, I promise you the money's going to come. You're going to develop those sales skills. And I would for sure add on top of this practice. It's not enough just to study, but if you can, record yourself. I've been recording myself, and I'll watch myself. I say too many ums, right? My intonation is not always perfect. My tonality isn't great. Sometimes when I should be using more of a curious tone, I'll use like more of an aggressive tone, So there's all these different skills that we can use. For example, with a homeowner, and the wife's giving you some resistance, it seems like you don't even want to go solar, versus like, thanks, Nancy. It seems like to me like there's some resistance around, submitting an application today. Can you tell me what's behind that?
Professional.
So there's these little things that you guys can spice up in your skills that are going to take you, and a lot of it comes in this study stuff. I would say at least an hour of study and 30 minutes of practice. So period, if you work this schedule and you're doing these things, I promise you we will make you twice as rich as you were before. It'll still take time. Good things take time. Like, you don't get to be Michael Jordan just for showing up. Like, it takes a few years of consistent effort. If everyone could just get rich for trying for a month, then everyone would be rich. So as you go through that struggle, know that resistance is good. The universe just wants to make sure you deserve to be rich. And you got to have someone to be your servant for. So you got to make sure it's hard, or else everyone will be rich. So you got to make sure that when you feel that resistance, just, man, hell yeah, I know no one's going to follow me, right? Today I met with Castle and I showed him my business plan. And he was like, oh, bro, I won't tell anyone this. And I laughed. I said, I don't care. You couldn't tell.
You can't hear?
Yeah. And I was like, you couldn't tell someone this if you wanted to. Like people wouldn't even understand it. They can't even comprehend what I'm building. And I'm 5 years into it. So like, I'm not worried at all about someone like stealing my business plan because they never could actually execute it. And that's how, you know?
Yeah.
So that's how you got to be with all this.
I like that.
Is every day when you wake up and you feel that resistance in yourself, you got to be like, hell yeah, that means the next guy's that much farther behind me.
What inspired that meeting? I'm really curious.
Oh, honestly, I just wanted to show him the office. We're friends. We've been meeting for 6
And I don't
years.
think he likes me too much because he was my district manager and he didn't fight for me when I had some issues with Sunrun. Yeah.
They fire everyone.
Yeah, they just.
So
It's crazy, man.
many people have been fired from Sunrun.
Yeah, I never liked his pitch.
It's like everyone who's done solar has been fired from Sunrun.
Yeah. He never wanted to knock with his new people. That's one thing. I mean, Forrest was even worse. Forrest and Castle were both my district managers, and they were just horrible.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
but we're going to do things differently here.
Yeah.
You know, something's worked for him. I think that what's worked for him specifically is like he still goes to appointments. You know, he's still been working. Like he makes $1 million every year, but he still works. He's just
Well,
been
he
working.
has his farm in Kansas for his weed. Him and his brother are growing weed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you know that? Yeah, he has like 50. He has like probably like what 50 acres of weed.
They let you do that in Kansas?
Yeah, or Kansas or Midwest.
50 acres?
Yeah, he has a shit ton of weed, bro.
I wonder what it'd feel like to like walk through 50 acres of weed.
Yeah, beautiful.
The most rich
The garden
farm.
is Eden.
Definitely gonna be hot just up the smell.
That's what, yeah, dude, I promise you. He actually, when he was doing his training sessions, he talked about it.
Also, like,
I was like, "Is that little tree?" He's like, "Yeah, my brother's in charge of it."
Cool.
I was like, "Sweet."
so he's getting like side income too. Just
Yeah.
Wow, that guy.
But yeah, Castle has a really good mindset. I can tell you that his mindset is through the roof, and he's really happy about everything.
He is. He's optimistic.
Yeah, he is.
So these are like learned things. I want us to build a culture where we hold each other accountable to this. When you hear people saying stuff that's not grateful, just fire them. It's like we're done with the entitled sales culture stuff. They come out for one day. They're like, man, I don't have the right room. Why did they drive me out in a Bugatti? Why did I, why am I having to buy myself lunch right now? Like, bro, just get out of here. We're looking for people that are grateful for this opportunity. I'm actually looking for people that would pay to be here. That's the best situation.
Yeah.
You're making $80,000. You work in Georgia at something. You pay $5,000 for us to teach you how to double your income. Like that's how it is. We actually have something that changes people's lives. It doubles people's income. So we got to change our perspective. We don't work with broke people that we have to pay to be out here. If I spend time with you, it costs me money because I by myself can make $50,000 a month. So if I'm going to spend time talking to you, you're either going to pay me or you're going to make me money or I'm going to cut you off. And that's how rich people think. And I'll talk about how exactly that flow looks like. Am I missing anything here? We're going to exercise, eat, study, practice, belief system. We're going to track everything. We're going to have gratitude. We're going to be optimistic.
Hell yeah.
I think more just
Hell yeah.
congregation. You know what I mean? Like the hikes and stuff. Like I think all that is super important, Tom.
It's like culture.
Yeah, just make like more bonds.
Yeah, well, I think just the gym's a big part of that.
It is.
Gym.
Everyone's on the same.
When we all go to the gym in the morning and we just freaking see each other every morning,
That's
that changed it for you and me and Isaac and Josh. Like that's it. And Marquise, bro.
I just wish you guys were a little more into like pain.
What you mean?
They're like,
Hey, we're glad we go to the gym every day. Let's change the subject.
You want to
It's like
you guys
punch
get
each
there?
other.
Isaac's like, I think we should run for 6 miles.
I'm down to do boxing.
We get there at 8,
Okay. I'll be there.
3 days a week.
Yeah, let's go. Dude, I'm up at 7 a.m.
You said 3 days a
drinking
week?
my coffee.
I can do 3 days a week.
That's what we've been doing.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
So
Go for a walk on your days off.
So I'm up at 7 a.m. drinking my coffee, reading my Bible, and I'm going over like prospecting on what I did the day before. That's what I do in the morning from 7 o'clock to 9:30. I'm usually prospecting on what I did the previous couple days before. So now I'm gonna have to switch that up because I'm gonna go to the gym at 8 to 10. So from 10 to 12, I'll be doing that 2 hours.
Follow-up stuff.
Where I can do the follow-ups because people they're gonna tell you sometimes that they're interested and they're just probably too scared to say no.
Yeah.
So we have to really understand that and maybe use a couple different methods to identify those from someone that is actually serious. Because like I said earlier on the phone or yesterday, I've had how many reschedules? Like 4 or 5 in a row. It was interesting.
My method is I burn leads. I burn them. I like to go over there and I'd like to ask them to buy 6 times. And if they can't buy at the end of that, I like to just cut them off. You know.
But then like 2 months later, I've done that, and then you see fucking panels on the roof. And it's like
I know, but it's just the game. It's
and
like
I knock back on the door. Hey, remember me? I spoke with you 4 times. And
you went and did it.
Like,
Well, that's the thing is like we can't let people take our energy. You know, like sometimes we have like a lame follow up or someone that's like not actually that interested, or they have some like excuse that we didn't uncover, and then we let it take up real estate in our mind. And that's the hardest part about solar. If we just actually knocked for 50 hours a week, I don't know about you guys, but the people that go solar with me are almost lay me down every time. Like you can just tell in the first 2 minutes that they're listening and that they might still have to overcome objections, but you can just tell this is your person. So what I'm saying is like it's what's hard about solar is like you can't get distracted with all those like lame people. Like the video we watched today, I probably wouldn't have set half those appointments. But you're recording a video and you got numbers. That's why I might do it for those reasons. But like I'm just like just go knock more hours and just go find the lay me down, and just be really. This is what I learned from Austin Walker. When I was making 40, I went out and worked out with him. He was making 100, and he showed me how to make like 65. But I actually get paid on it in Texas. And one thing he did really, really well is he just got to no's way faster, really fast.
that's awesome.
Just like straight to the process.
That's what Josh does. He gets the nose out real quick.
Yeah, I'm just straightforward with them. It's like, yeah, this is solar. It's completely different. Keep
What
going.
you think you heard?
Yeah.
You think you know, but you don't.
I don't know.
Okay, I'm going to show you guys the trajectory for where you can expect to go at Bright House. Exactly. What I'm doing this year is I'm just going to replicate myself and what I've done, because I feel like it's been a huge blessing in my life. And I want people that like this story and they want to replicate it. So the first thing you do is you have to set appointments for a skilled closer so you can see how to close. And you want to get to the point where out of these 25 hours of knocking time, you should be setting 5 appointments. Out of those 5 appointments, you need 3 sits. Out of those 3 sits, you will get a close. So you get 25, 5 sets, 3 sits, 1 close. Okay, that's exactly what it looks like. What that's going to look like if you work for 4 weeks, the average commission as a setter is probably $4,000 or maybe $3,500. $3,500. 3,500 times 4 is 14. So that's it. If you're a good setter at Bright House, you need to be making $14,000 a month by setting 4 appointments that close. And you need to be doing that consistently. If you're not doing that consistently, then you're missing something either in your belief form or in your daily actions. You're not studying every day. You're not practicing every day. There's something in your pitch that you're missing and you're just not practicing every day. And every day you go out and you have something less than this ratio, because I'm telling you, we all can work on this ratio. We all need to get our sets up a little bit. And then when we have a set, we need to get our sit ratio up. So there's something in our skills that we're frustrated with, but we're not working on it every day. That's the definition of insanity, right? Is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. I would need you guys to set aside an hour and a half every day, an hour for study and 30 minutes for practice. If you're not doing that every day, then don't expect to be able to walk the path that I'm about to show you. So once you've done this, I would say do it for 3 months. And the reason I would say that is because I want you guys to set up a foundation where no one can deny that you know how to generate leads in this market. Because eventually you're going to be a closer with a team, and you can't afford for your training not to matter. I've had a lot of closers come out here that don't actually know how to set, and they lead trainings and they try to teach guys how to set, and they've never even set a deal that closed in this market. So not only do they not know what they're talking about because that market was different, but also their guys don't trust them. And why would we ever gamble our organization? Why would we ever let people teach that we don't know can generate leads in this market? So you're just doing that to prove that, one, you're getting paid for it. It's not like $14,000 a month is not bad money. You'll be able to pay your bills. You'll be happy. So then once you've done that, you're going to move up into a self-genner. So this is about where Joshua is. He's kind of finally going the transition. The hard part, what's the risk when you're moving from a setter to a self-gen?
Not as many knocks. Learning curve. Not as,
It can get you off of knocking hours.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful and try to set those appointments for mornings, and you have to work maybe twice as many hours once you get into self-genning. Because if you go and work the same hours, but you're like sitting in an appointment for an hour or 2 or 3, your prospecting time could cut in half.
That's what I've been dealing with a lot.
Yeah.
Because I'm setting and closing.
Right.
You know.
So you got to really, really, really try to set your appointments not during at least between like 6 and 8:30. Like you really got to try to protect that time. If you can for sure get that time in, you're still going to find a deal every week. But if you're missing that time and you're like sitting in houses all day, I see that people go fill out their pipeline, they get a few good sets, and they'll just like work those sets for 2 weeks, and then they'll have no pipeline, and then it'll be dry. So it's a skill, and it takes like time management. It also takes professionalism. All right, some people just don't have there's a few things that you need to be a self-genner, in my opinion. It's really hard to be a self-genner without a car. It's easier than closing. You really can't close without a car. But like self-genning without a car is like, how do you do your follow-ups? How do you do your appointments? How do you go out in the mornings? You need an iPad, you need a laptop, you need an HIS license, you need a car. There's quite a few things there. But once you're self-genning, it's pretty reasonable that you should be able to get 3 deals every month. If you're doing it right, you can even do better than a setter because you get some momentum, you start to get referrals. But your commission is going to double, so now you're making $7,000 per deal, and you're getting 3, so then you're making $21K. And that's like a reasonable pathway. I find when I self-gen, I'm going to average 5 deals a month. I might have like 3 for 1 month, and then you have like some like follow-ups that go through the next month and you get 6. But I'll average 5 self-gens a month. So if I work for 10 months out of the year, so 5 self-gens times $7,000 is 35. And I'll work for 10 months. That's $350K. Does that seem reasonable?
Yep.
That's probably like a reasonable pathway. You might get it halfway through this year. So you'll probably end somewhere between this and this. You might end the year with like 200K. And then next year you go into the next thing. So once you've done that, then you actually have a testimony and you can recruit into the organization. You know how to set, so you can train setters, and you know how to close, and you know how important every lead is because you know how hard it is to generate them. So then what happens is through the winter, and this is only if you want to. If you want to, you can just do this forever. Why not? 35K a month, it'll pay your bills. Take 2 months a year, invest your money. You can probably do that for 5 years and then like retire if you invest your money well. Once you're a closer, and what you do is you buy yourself a car, you recruit yourself 4 setters, you take your setters out to Hood, you teach them how to do this, right? So those 4 setters turn into, it could be 16 deals a month. Let's say that they're averaging a little bit less than that, like 3 a month, so it's 12. So now you're closing, so you're gonna get $3,500 for each of those 12 sets. And then let's say you keep knocking, because you should, if you're out there. 4 setters isn't enough to keep you busy. You probably need like 10 setters to keep you busy. So then you're also gonna be self-genning, and you don't have as much time, but you can get like 2 self-gens at 7K. Plus you're gonna get like a 10-cent override on all these deals. So that's gonna bump your commission up like an average of $700 to $4,200 on those deals. What's $4,200 times 12?
60.
So 4,200.
Times 4. I suck at math, so it's
4,200 times 12?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so 50,
60K.
50,400.
504,000.
That was close.
And then you're getting,
14.
it's not 504,000,
Times 12, 42,000.
4,200.
Oh,
It's probably 54K.
Oh, I did 14,000.
It's probably 54K.
Yeah, it's 50,000.
And then you get 2 self-gens, so that's 14K. So 54 plus 14 is 68 or 78?
68.
I think it's 78.
68.
You're right. 68. Okay. Then you work 68 for 10 months, and you're making 680. So that's the trajectory. That's exactly how you do it. Hopefully, out of those 4 setters, You train one of them to become a self-genner, and then you grow your team, and you have like a team that's doing this under you, and you have your 10 cents. That's how you get to the 800, and the next year you do the same thing again. That's the exact pathway. That's the exact pathway I took. It's you guys are closer than you think. What questions do you have for me, or is any of that doesn't make sense or doesn't seem reasonable?
I've never been an actual closer with solar. I mean, I've closed at appointments, but I never had a consistent 4 setters for the whole year. You know, people fall off and whatnot. So I would consider myself the self-gen. The most I ever made was like under 200 grand with Solnova.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, that's pretty on point.
Yeah, so you've seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few reasons that this is like too good to be true. One of those reasons is it's oftentimes if you're to go do this as a dealer that you don't get paid. So like half the time if you go and start your own dealer, you work with Freedom Forever, then they go out of business. You work with Sonova, then they go out of business. You work with Solnova, then they stop paying you. So right. We've seen probably about 50% of the financial partners that we've worked with haven't paid us. So what's different about Bright House is because we own the installer and we are soon to also own the financials piece, like we can actually build momentum like what Sunrun has done. That's why Castle, he did this, but he's done it for 8 years. So now this is literally the exact trajectory he went on. He had that 680 a year, and then he stayed for 5 more years. So he consistently made $1 million and he earned stock. Okay. The way that stock is going to work at Bright House right now is we have 20% of the company that's set aside for marketing. So let's say last year we did 10 million in 2026. So in 2026 we want to do 20 million. So of that 20 million, there's going to be 20% stock available. 20% of 20 million is $4 million of stock stuff, whatever you could say. Let's say we sold and we sold for 20 million, then 4 million would go to our sales team. The portion of that you earn, if you actually stay here for more than 12 months and your team does a good amount, is the portion of that of installs we have. So let's say that Chaz's team, he like figures it out this year. He does 50 installs and we do 300 total installs. So he does 50 of our 300 installs. 50 goes into that 6 times.
Way more.
6 goes into 100. It's like 18%, I think. So he'd have 18% of that 4 million, which is like 500K in equity. So, and then Bright House is going to go from a 20 million company to a $1 billion company in the next 7 years. So his $500 stake is, as we do a 20x, 10x would be 200 million, 20x, 30x. Basically, he has an opportunity to cash out for like 5 million, 10 million when we sell. So if you need that, I'm just kind of giving that briefly, but if you need that as part of your vision, like to help you recruit or to help you build Bright House, I can go into details with that. And even if you're confident you're going to be here long term, then we should generate a contract for that. So it's very clear for you how you're earning equity in Bright House. That's part of the, it's part of the journey here is like why we're building something that's going to last, and we're building something that we're here at the beginning. Like we got a cool group of guys and we're here at the beginning. We all want to take a piece in that pie. But yeah, that's the reason I'm doing this today, guys, is I just want to make sure that we're all clear about what we're doing and what we're trying to accomplish. I wanted you guys to be able to consult with me or ask any questions you might have about who we are at Bright House, what we're trying to do, what our vision is. And I want to make sure that we are on the same page and that we can start really holding each other accountable with our culture. Like it's now written out, you know what you are missing, right? Like don't be surprised if the only reason this isn't going to happen, because all of you guys have the skills. I've seen all of you guys that working with you because you have the talent. The only reason this isn't going to happen is because you have other stuff going on. For Landon, every single day between 6 and 8:30, oftentimes during prime time, he wanted to be hanging out with girls at the YSA ward.
Your brother?
Yeah. That was his priority when he came out here, was the YSA ward. He was more interested in finding a wife. That was his priority. So as anything in life, if you want to be buff, it's got to be your number one priority. If your priority is to be comfortable and to chill and to eat chips and alcohol, then like you're not going to be buff, right? So same thing, if your goal is to be solar rich, if this is your number one goal, Then let's focus in. What we're going to do for you is we have a way to build in your other goals. Like we take Thursdays off. That should help you. We take 2 months off every year, really 3, December, January, February. So that should help you not hurt your family relationships. You should even have better family relationships because you can vacation during that time and build some real memories. So let me know if what this doesn't fit, but from my perspective, this should allow you guys to really hit and have a full life on all aspects. And that's important as well, as making sure that you're not sleeping in on P days and you're not eating junk food and you're not like, you should wake up early those days and do something, go on a hike, hang out with your guys. If you're sitting there scrolling all day, it's going to ruin your dopamine for the whole week.
Where attention goes, life flows. Whatever you hold in your head the most, that's what you're going to do. It's kind of like your coordinates, where if you see it in your head, you're literally going to do that. So it's just like understanding and thinking and seeing the image in your head of something else, and just changing the script, and then you do something else.
Yes.
Yeah, you're going to get what you focus on. So if you want this, you can have it. And if you can't, it's going to be because you focused on something else. But let's bring Joshua up for his check.
That's not your first one, right?
No. This will not be my last for sure.
Tell us what's working for you, bro.
What's working for me is basically just knocking and finding the right people, perfecting my pitch. We're door knockers. We go out and knock. We don't follow up. We just do our job, basically. Let's go,
Josh, no!
What was it? It was for Juan
I feel like it's like a 10 kilowatt.
with the new roof too.
Mm-hmm.
That's not bad with a roof.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
He's a chill guy.
Not bad. It'll pay some of the bills. We'll take it. Okay.
Cool.
Let's